Welcome, AfterBuzzers. You are watching the after show for Queen Sugar, Season 4, Episode 3, Where My Body Stops or Begins. Tonight, we talk Micahs Revelation, Jimmy Dale's return, and the showdown we've been waiting for. Stay tuned for more.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome, AfterBuzzers. We are back, an all-new season, an all-new episode. Queen Sugar is back. My name is Shaka Smith, joined by my lovely co-host Candice Marie and Donterra Terrell. Hey. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey!
What a great episode. So excited to get into it. Of course, we got some special segments for you guys. We got our news, we got our big easy scene, and our predictions for you guys a little bit later. But let's get our overall thoughts on the episode. Man, I like this episode because, you know, we really got a good butt kicking on from Hollywood to Jimmy Dale. So I really felt this one. How about you guys?
Oh my goodness. I have to say, I think I jumped out of my seat at least like 6 times.
Right?
I was so excited because I think a lot of the things that we talked about in our predictions, a lot of them actually either came true or we dispelled some of those predictions. So that was really exciting for me to see.
I think I saw you throw a punch.
Speaking of punches, in my predictions from the first episode, I did say there would be some fist flying. And everyone kind of gave me a side eye, and I was accurate.
Yeah, we got.
But can we also speak? Why couldn't this episode be 2 hours?
Yeah, this felt like I want more time with Jimmy. Yeah.
No. I don't know what your thing is with Jimmy. Why? Let Jimmy go.
I want more time to find out more of the story. Like, there's so much emotion there. Like,
it's suspenseful now.
And then we got to know what happened with Nova. But, you know, let's just get into it. Yes. So the first topic is, of course, Jimmy Dale's return. Candy, for you, the revelation that Nova actually may have prompted this whole return, how did that sit with you?
I hate her. No, and you know what? I know you're not supposed to hate people, but that was the first thing I thought was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like how could you? Like, that is the worst thing that you could have ever done to Vi. Not to mention, Nova was around. She saw what he put her through. He saw the pain. She saw the abuse. Yeah. Like, she gotta go. But it's time for her to go.
Did you feel she had a valid point?
No! No! Nova, you are wrong. You are dead ass wrong. And I'm sorry, but how do you come back from that?
Well, you know, she did say she went to go see Jimmy Dale to see if there was a story. No, because she's talking about a greater to the culture.
No, honestly, I'm sorry, but I can't even let you finish. I'm sorry, y'all, but this is what I have to say. Your Aunt Vi, if she told you something, why can't that be good enough? Why do you have to go and stir up all of this old drama? Because first of all, a smart person would know that if she went and she dug up all this old crap, which is Jimmy Dale is the crap, then it would definitely come back and he would show up. That's just common sense to me.
Wait, but there was a chance he could have changed.
No.
Do you agree?
No.
No. No, I'm saying no way he could have changed. Yeah. Also, I'm concerned, how are the writers going to redeem Nova? Because she's like the most hated.
She said I'm concerned.
I'm concerned at this point because I don't know. And then also in terms of Jimmy Dale's return, once again, Nova, no regard for anyone's feelings. Mm-mm. When she even had the idea or concept in her mind, I'm going to go pay a visit to my old Uncle Jimmy Dale. She should have forewarned Aunt Vi or get her approval, her blessing, or something. Well,
she knows she's not going to get that, right? She knows that Aunt Vi's going to say no.
But she knew it was going to come out somewhere. You see how she had to explain herself.
Well, if she had in fact gone and Jimmy Dale had changed and 30 years had passed and he had changed and he was repentant and he actually wanted to with a pure heart, wouldn't that not have been a beautiful story and actually something that would have helped Aunt Vi too? I think.
Look at my face.
You know when men like that change? Is when they're on their deathbed and they're trying to get it all out or they're super sick. That's when they change.
No, men like that are stuck in their ways. And he showed us that. He showed us as he was picking his face off the floor when Hollywood beat that. Sorry, y'all. That was like my favorite part of the show. I'm so excited right now.
But I always think, you know what, maybe you could have had a near-death experience, you know, in the interim, you know, the time between.
But
she's just like,
did you hear what he said? He said, I came to apologize, but you know what? You're still the same old, you know. I said, oh, so you really aren't sincere. You definitely didn't change. That was point, you know.
Why was that ever? Right, okay, you know what? I'm just going to be silent because the way that I feel right now, like, why was it ever a thought that this man would have changed? He is one of those people that is just like stuck in their ways.
Let me ask
you, why was there ever a thought that he could change?
But in life, have either of you ever been surprised by someone that did change?
I'm not Jimmy Dale. They not Jimmy Dale. No, Jimmy Dale is a monster. He deserves to be kept away. Please don't bring Jimmy Dale back.
I think I want to hear some people stand off in the comments, and hopefully you guys join us for some more AfterBuzz conversations here. Hey, Candy, you want to take it away?
Oh, God. Hey, guys. Before we move on to our next topic, we just wanted to say thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. And thank you for continuing to grow with us because we could use your help. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a rating on iTunes, and leave us a comment that does not include Jimmy Dale. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to me because, again, we get to hear so many insightful opinions that come from people that have opinions about Jimmy Dale, and I'm hoping that we don't have any more opinions about Jimmy Dale. So, again, thank you guys so much for making us the ESPN of TV talk and supporting us in doing what we love.
Yes, 5 stars, 5 stars.
5 stars, comment,
nice
subscribe,
nice comments.
all that good stuff.
Oh, man. So, Jimmy Dale, we'll revisit him a little bit later.
Can we not say his name? I don't even want to say his name.
A little bit later. But let's talk about Micah's Revelation. We see kind of Micah settling in on this episode with his return, but he gets a big revelation. He's got a huge death threat that he gets in the mail that's really concerning, but he's been getting these all summer long. He didn't know about it. What did you guys think about that moment when he realizes? I like the moment he shared with Charley. Did you guys like that moment? Did you feel like Micah started to realize her point of view?
I definitely do. I love the layers of masculinity that they are showing with Micah. They're showing that you can be emotional. Like, they're showing, like, this roller coaster of emotions with him. You don't always have to be the angry guy or the tough guy. Like, when he hugged his mama and embraced her and then shed a little tear, that hurt. Like, not hurt, that warmed my heart. Yeah, that was a very... And then the fact that Charley sort of not put him in this place, but even the way she approached the situation, because somebody else could have, been aggressive or been like, you don't know what you're doing, I'm doing this for you. But the way she explained it to him, it's sort of like, wow, he had his own personal revelation. I think we all had a revelation, and he has his own personal revelation.
And like when she says I'll fix it, she means it. Like like we see Charley as a fixer, and sometimes people tell her to kind of like ease off, but at the end of the day, that's what she does, and that's what she's good at. And so I really like that. It looked like he had a moment where he started to appreciate her for what she does do.
Right. And that's such a great comment. Thank you for saying that, because initially when he made the statement, when they were talking about the book and she was watching him, and I could just feel her nervousness when he made the comment, this book was written by someone I trust. That broke my heart because she has done so much to earn his trust. I was so appreciative of that moment that they shared when they finally embraced. And that was such a growth moment, I think, for both characters, because for so long they've been bumping heads. So long, she's been fighting to understand him and vice versa. So for the first time, I felt like he truly saw his mother for what she was, which is his mother and also his protector, but also someone that he can trust.
Yeah, but I think Charley always pushes back instead of sometimes agreeing and realizing that in agreement you can find communication, because he's saying to her, we have a different view of the world and a different way of looking at things. I feel like her initial reaction was to kind of push back against that, but this time she says, you're right, we do, and I'm trying to protect you. I'm afraid for you. I don't have time you're angry and I can't be angry. And so I love that moment because they do have a different view of the world, but it doesn't mean they have to be separate or they can't be close, Right.
Can I also say this really quickly? Yeah. What I also saw in that moment when she revealed that to him was that he can't live inside of this bubble anymore. And I feel like for his entire life, he's lived inside of this bubble, and she finally, popped it.
Yeah.
And he even saw it.
Definitely.
Sending him to Paris. He didn't know she's protecting me. No, that was a great strategy.
That was.
And I think the timing of it was perfect.
Well, when he first handed her the letter, I was kind of surprised and shocked, and she was just like, "Oh, I'll handle it." Very nonchalant. I was a little concerned. I'm like, "Did you not read the letter?
Did you send the letter?"
Right, and then as it unfolded, I'm like, "I get it." And I felt like that also speaks to our parents, our grandparents. You know how a lot of times we don't necessarily understand what they're doing, but at the end of the day, ultimately they're trying to protect us, or they're loving it, like they're doing something. Like, so we always know. No, excuse me, I'm too excited right now. We don't necessarily understand their ways, but it's always something behind it for the greater good or just to protect us.
And now he's got to go back and rethink the entire summer. Like every time he thought somebody was following him, maybe somebody was actually following him.
Listen, when she said that she had somebody following him,
detailed security.
All summer.
Look, no lie. Charley, she had some Godfather tendencies. We've seen that so many different times throughout the seasons. I'm like, you know what, Charley, you got to watch out. She might put a hit out on you.
Well, and speaking of, brief aside, we see a little bit of that when she gets to meet with Jacob. It wasn't really big, but whenever those two are in a room, I feel a little bit of electricity between those two. I know she's with Romero, and I love seeing her and Romero. But whenever her and Jacob, I don't know if it's the actors or the characters, but there's
in a creepy way. It's creepy, but I agree. I hate to say that, but I agree. He makes my skin crawl, but I agree.
Like this love-hate relationship, but I really love you. Like 90% I love you, but I'm going to act like I hate you. Yes.
You can get down and dirty with me.
but I love what we see that she's getting from Romero. Right. That partnership seems to be paying dividends. And I love that extra storyline that we're getting with the migrant workers and Ignacio and figuring out how to get him help.
Right, and what a time.
Yeah.
What a time. The timing of the writers for Queen Sugar, they're always right on time. I'm so very glad that they're mentioning the migrant workers and they're talking about, because everything that's happening in our world today and everything that's happening on the border, and for Charley agreeing to help him with a pop-up medical clinic.
Huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
He just fell in love, literally. Like if he was the woman, he would have dropped his draws. You can have me, take me now.
I was kind of skeptical of their love affair before, but today they won me over. I'm rooting for them. 10 toes in. Look, everything. My whole heart is just for them. Yes.
And you know what else that shows us? Partnership.
Yeah.
Partnership is so very important in relationships, and I think that what their relationship is blossoming into is a beautiful relationship that includes friendship, that includes partnership, business, love, intimacy.
I do think Jacob may have something to say about that a little bit later, but we'll get to that in predictions.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah, of course.
Also, a solid foundation. I think that's the most important. They get to know each other. So with the foundation.
Come on.
Okay.
That
was it.
But do we have fire? That Jacob Boudreaux fire. But we'll
maybe
see.
in the bedroom.
But we speaking of fire though, we got to talk about that showdown between Nova and Vi. It was so much going on. We had Jimmy Dell, then Hollywood came in, and for a second we thought we were on the same team with Nova for a minute, but then we're like, wait a minute, you caused this in the first place. So that was a roller coaster of emotions. But what did you guys think about how Vi finally said, Nova Bordelon, essentially, I don't want to see you again?
Listen, when a black woman tells you, don't even bring flowers to my grave, you can't even visit me when I'm in the afterlife, that's something serious.
That line, God, I have never heard that before.
Heart literally broke in half. I felt my heart literally like, whoop.
Sis, when she said, I don't need you disturbing any more of my peace.
Yes. Do you know how hard it is to get some good peace, inner peace, emotional?
Not even dead.
Right. Because somebody always trying to take your peace.
Exactly.
She just got her damn
They don't even disturb my peace when I'm dead.
Yeah.
Come on.
That was a line. Have you guys ever heard that line before? I've never heard. Don't even bring flowers to my grave.
I'm using all of that. All of that.
That's how much I'm going to underscore. I don't want to see you.
And then Nova's going to have this best-selling book. She's going to have all these amazing fans and no family. I mean,
for now on, can we just say,
Well,
I don't even can we say
her name either.
I don't want to say her name. I don't want to hear her name. I don't want to say her name. I don't want to have nothing to do with
Okay, but let's think here. Vi is now cutting off Nova for the rest of her life, essentially. Mm-hmm. I mean, just even that, is that, do you guys think that's justified? Do you think this is family here?
Yes.
Or do you feel it's justified in the moment? Do you feel like a week from now Vi should say, no, you think this is it? This should be done?
I mean, certain things. It's not like Nova came and took the last of the milk after Aunt Vi told him not to. This is so serious stuff now. You see, they had to tag team Jimmy Dale to get him out the house.
Wait a minute. I agree. I agree on that personal level, but the words that the New York Times writer review use about what she's doing for culture and for how she's elevating the voice and then
which is a lie.
Wait, no, hold on. We saw the interview now where that family it had changed their family.
Okay, but let's stop right there because the question that was made, and I made sure I wrote it down. It said, I'm going to look into the camera because I need y'all to know it's real. How were you able to break through all of the hurt feelings and the trauma? First of all, let's stop right there. Nova, you have not broken through all of the hurt feelings and the trauma. So how can you give advice? No. How can you give advice to a family when you haven't even healed yours? You are literally killing your family. No, you're killing the legacy. You're killing everything.
We all have breakthroughs and healings in small areas. So like they had a breakthrough and healing at some point, Nova and Charley. Now she's not speaking on the break up that they're having right now, but she's speaking to the breakthroughs that they had prior to.
No. Because listen, none of that stuff in the past matters anymore because this tops everything.
I agree. Absolutely. I agree. She's not speaking her truth, but I do think she's speaking truth to how you can handle things and how you can deal with people.
So how can you write your truth and not speak your truth and live in your truth?
She said, well, I felt like I did. She said you got to empty out the drawer. That's what she said. You got to, and that was true. What she said was true. She's not living it, but the advice she's giving is good.
That's the problem. She done emptied every damn thing out from the drawer. Some of that stuff don't need to leave the drawer.
She needs to empty out her own drawer, not everybody else's. And once again, look, because I wrote that down too when she talked about emptying out the drawer, and she used to suppress everything, and this was a personal therapy session for her. It was like very therapeutic. Ma'am, pay for your therapist, and then you talk among family, but you could have wrote the book about yourself once again, and leave everybody else's business in their drawers.
Personal memoir. Given the fact that she's going to have this platform, I just have to ask the question: Is now she not serving a greater good? Is now she's not serving of publicizing these stories, and so people could see them and feel them and
listen
and heal their own families?
Listen, I might have agreed with you.
Yeah.
If she would have fictionalized the characters. She really put in there the chapters were named after the family, so everyone knows.
But the whole point of the book was to empty the drawer, to lay it bare. So if there's any part of the book that wasn't laid bare, the book loses its authenticity, its voice.
She should have went with another storyline for this book now. Came up with a whole other concept.
I don't know. Well,
I don't have anything to say. I have nothing to say about
Well, I will definitely say excellent writing, because those lines were still like just
some powerful punchlines.
Powerful
yes.
lines.
So
well, we got a little bit of news, so we might as well go into that right now.
Well, the first set of news is that Nova is not coming back. She's hit the... I'm just joking. And I'm smiling like... She's like, yes, really? That's awesome. Yeah, guys. Yeah, unfortunately, her character was written off of the rest of the season, and we will be expecting her back never.
Per candy.
Sorry, guys. I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels that way. All right. So, we've done some Twitter and Instagram stalking, and it looks like some of our favorite cast members are really excited to be wrapping up today's filming of Queen Sugar. So that's really, really awesome. I know we kind of tapped into Dawn's Twitter and Instagram, and also Vi's Twitter and Instagram. So we're keeping up with them socially. Also, we really, really want to give a big shout out to Ava DuVernay again. She's made our news again because the results were shown that over 23 million households were reached on Netflix, which is huge for her Netflix hit When They See Us. So that's phenomenal. I think that's huge news.
Yeah, absolutely huge news. Yeah. Especially, for so long they were saying a lot of these black stories, they won't sell, they won't resonate with people, no one's going to watch them, and that was a reason for not putting money and funding behind it. So that really just blows that out of the water.
Right. So that's really good. It's showing that this topic is being tapped into by more than just black people.
Yeah.
It's being tapped into by many other different types of people, which is so very important that they see the way that they see us.
Yeah, they see us.
I actually met two of the Central Park Five over the weekend.
Wow.
Yes. And I wanted, the person who I was with, she just wanted to go to them and just say thank you for sharing the story.
Yeah.
And literally, when I went up to meet them, I just wanted to give them a hug.
Yeah.
But I couldn't be the creepy person. So, we talked a little bit, but just, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's all I can say. And I'm just so glad that they're finally being able to tell their story to the world.
Yeah.
Ava DuVernay gives us the platform,
you,
so
Ava.
that's beautiful.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And then we have a little bit of a big easy scene.
Yes, we do. Now, speaking of Aunt Vi saying, "Don't come to my grave, don't put flowers," we're actually going to talk about the cemeteries and graves in New Orleans.
Yes, and the Big Easy Scene for you guys who are just tuning in is our segment where we talk about the rich culture and life of New Orleans, where Queen Sugar is set.
Yes. So there are a little over 40 cemeteries in New Orleans. Now, did you know that New Orleans cemeteries are sometimes referred to as cities of the dead?
Didn't know that, but that sounds reasonable.
And the deceased are buried above ground. Did you guys know that?
I did see some of that, because of the flooding,
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So the water table in New Orleans is very high, which makes the burial plots extremely shallow. Now, if you dig a few feet down, the grave can become a little soggy and it can fill with water. And no one wants their loved ones, like that.
Yeah.
The casket will literally float.
Oh, wow.
Right.
It's scary.
This is creepy. It's getting creepier by the moment.
So it's said that early settlers tried placing stones in and on top of coffins to weigh them down and keep them underground. But unfortunately, after a severe rainstorm, the rising water would literally pop the airtight coffins out of the ground. And to this day, unpredictable flooding still in certain areas can still cause an occasional coffin to rise above ground.
Wow.
So another method that was used was to bore holes in the coffins, and that method method proved also to be unsuitable. So eventually New Orleans graves were kept above ground, and it follows the Spanish custom of using vaults. Many family tombs resemble miniature houses with iron fences, and the rows of tombs resemble streets, and this is why New Orleans burial plots became known as the cities of the dead.
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't realize that they'd actually built so many homes. I'd seen a couple, because I visited when I was like 9 or 10. I'd seen a couple of above ground graves. I didn't realize they had so many homes.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Well, hopefully Jimmy Dell will avoid the wrath of Hollywood and not find himself there.
He will find himself.
Yes.
But speaking of that, I wonder if we'll see him again. So let's get into our prediction. I hope actually, as a viewer and a fan of the show, I want to see him again. I don't want to see him again. As someone in Aunt Vi's life, but Jimmy Dale's just a fun character.
What is your obsession with this
He's
Jimmy Dale?
He's a fun character, no?
No. Go away.
What are your predictions? What do you got done, Tara?
He's coming back.
You think? Oh, he's so good.
Yes,
so good.
This was just the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. Today shook me up. I'm unsure what's about to happen. But come back to me. Let me think about that.
Okay, so there was something that I had to do a double take on. The pink medical band that Aunt Vi pulled out of her box. It was for a baby girl, and she said the words, "He can't hurt you again."
Yeah.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah. I heard the words.
He can't hurt you again. So. I'm interested to know what happened there. I want to know more
for
about
a baby
that.
girl. Wasn't it her medical band?
No, it was for a baby girl.
No, it was her medical band.
That maybe he put her in the hospital.
Yeah.
No.
Because they had her birthday on it.
It had a birthday.
Yeah.
And it was for a baby girl.
Really?
I don't know, y'all. I don't
Viewers,
know.
in the comments, let us know.
I felt like, I don't know.
That would be a
Was
twist.
that for Vi or was that for a child?
That would be a twist.
I don't know, but I want to know what happened with that. So y'all, go in on the comments. Don't call me out. Don't talk trash. Just tell me what it is. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what happens with Ralph Angel and Blue. I really like the conversation that he had with Prosper when Prosper was telling him about, the fact that his father, wasn't his father, and how that impacted him. So I thought that those words for Ralph Angel were perfect and right on. And Deisha, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with Deisha and Ralph Angel. I love the fact that she had already known about his past, and he was so nervous to speak up about his past. I love the fact she did a research. She was, I know, come on.
But it was like a little like, whoa.
No, I mean, but if you think about it, she kind of had to. Her, what she does for work, and the fact that she does have a son. When guys slide in my DM and I'm like, who are you? I Google their butts too. So I'm not mad at that. Right on, girl.
With that, I thought the same thing, because that is what she does. So it's not like, she's going extra. But if that's something that she does throughout the relationship, Ra might be like,
it was a one-time thing. It was a one-time thing. Absolutely.
Right.
Don't do Deisha like that, y'all. Deisha's a good woman.
My prediction is, I was wondering how Nova's going to come back from this. I think one of the last shows I said that she might have like a near-death experience or something would happen that her life would be in danger, the family have to rally around her. Now I'm going to tweak that because I saw the possibility of the family getting famous because of this, and even though they're upset with her, then all of a sudden it starts to look a little bit more attractive. If they want you guys on the book tour too, you're going to get, and they might be able to use any fame from that to leverage, whether it's with the Landrys we see are kind of rearing their ugly heads back again. They might be able to use any sort of fame or standing from the book to leverage whatever else is going on business-wise. So I think that could be something.
I have my prediction now. I'm sorry. Micah and Kiki, I don't see them making it.
I love Micah and Kiki.
I do too, but I don't see them.
Really?
Yeah.
They seem like a good balance for each other.
I mean, I agree, but I don't think Kiki's not with this new Micah. She's not that girl.
Yeah. But he seems to be honestly saying, generally, I'm going to chase you and I want you and I will never disrespect you. Even though when he said that, it seemed like ominous almost.
Exactly. Right. That was today. That was this episode.
I was like, if you raise a hand to this girl, Micah, I will.
Stop it.
Well, the way he said it was like, yo, my mama taught me. I'll never do.
No, he didn't say it like that.
But just the way he said it, it made it seem as if he's going to do something to actually go against that line.
No, I think Mike, I think they both really, really like her. I think he really cares about her, and he just wants her to know, look, I don't want you to doubt me. I don't want you to feel like I'm not going to be the man that you fell in love with. I think that's more so what it is. I don't think it's anything like Mike is going to...
Famous last words. The way he said it just looked like he was...
I'm with you,
that's
though.
how you took it?
I'm with you.
Not even the way he said it. The way it was filmed. Like the way... Do you know what I mean?
So
like,
maybe it's sort of giving that...
I don't know. You're off, Shaka. You like Jim and Dale. You want to hear more about Jim and Dale, you know. I don't know. Your predictions, your opinions.
Hey, can we speak to Jimmy Dale one more time?
I love Jimmy. Of course we can.
You love him. Now, what?
No, as a character.
Oh. I was about to jump out my seat. But even Hollywood even spoke to, he's trying to play the Good Samaritan, which he didn't know. See, remember last week we talked about this? Always trying to play the Good Samaritan. You see, he came in, disturbed the peace and everything else.
But what did he say as he left? Even though Jimmy Dale obviously has not had a full transformation, he said, I came to apologize.
And then followed that up 2 seconds later and called her everything else.
Come on.
Well, your husband just beat me to a pulp. I'm a little upset.
Oh, but Hollywood told him, you will catch these hands on sight. And guess what? He caught those hands on sight.
You can't tell me to leave a town.
You know what we need? If you guys want us to bring in Hollywood or Jimmy Dale, leave comments below. Tag them. Tell them that they need to get on here. We need to have a Jimmy Dale and Hollywood face-off right here in the studio. That would be great.
Oh, man. Well, this was a great episode. I can't wait for episode 4. It's going to be a good one.
I agree.
So... Another thing?
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
This whole episode just got me off my feet. Okay, so can we also speak to Nova once again?
Yeah.
In terms of overstepping her boundaries. Just doing the most. Nova, you're doing the most. She gave Micah the book. Didn't tell Charley. Charley walked in on Micah reading the book. I felt like that's also something. Send your sister a text. Hey, I know we're not speaking. Just wanted to give you a heads up. Gave Micah the book. Boom. That's it.
Selfish.
Yes, selfish.
Again, why are we surprised?
I think
we're not, but I'm just saying another instance.
Well, I will say, you guys say selfish. I will say that maybe when you realize you're going to destroy part of your family, but you're doing so for a greater good, you might actually be selfless. But...
I feel like Shaka got an advanced copy of the book, and he's not telling us.
I'm sorry, y'all. Shaka, you got to go.
No, Shaka got an advanced copy of the book, and he knows a lot more than what he's saying right now.
I wish I did. But anyways, we're going to find out a lot more in the coming weeks, so hopefully next week's a good one.
Yes.
As always, guys, my name is Shaka Smith. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Shaka Strong.
I don't know, Shaka. They might come for you after this show. Hey, guys, always a pleasure to be here. It is Miss Candy Marie. You can find me on Instagram at Miss Candy Marie and on Twitter at Sweet Kindor TV.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Dontera Terrell, and you can find me on all social media platforms at Dontera Terrell.
See you next week.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.